Hello, hello, hello. All right. Whoa, what just happened? Does he have timers on these things? Oh, damn. Okay, hello everyone. My name is not Tim Stanley. My name's Nick Moline. Tim, unfortunately, could not be here today. We have a big project going live on Monday that he couldn't get away from. And I couldn't get away from last night. So what in the world is going on with this presentation? It keeps jumping around for no apparent reason. Wonderful. Oh, I bet I know why. My mouse was on in my bag. Oh, darn, and it jumped over to my, I'm not Tim Stanley, but for Halloween one year I did dress up as him. There's my little stuffed pug to go with his real pug. So this presentation, which I changed that title, but it apparently didn't save, is on how to use social media. This presentation is, like it says up there, geared towards lawyers who are not exactly that tech savvy. So hopefully, we'll just run through it really fast and then I'll answer any questions you want because I don't know how much of the actual presentation will be that useful. All right. The number one thing Tim wanted me to get across with you guys is that the most important thing that you can do for marketing yourself is blogging. So the social networks like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn are very useful for, keeping engaged in real time with people, but the information fades very quickly. So as far as content is concerned, it's much better to use a blog. He wanted me to tell you guys that blogging, when you post something on a blog, it's going to essentially be there forever. When you post something on Twitter, people will forget about it in 5 minutes. So, and if you post it on Facebook, if they're not friends with you, they're not going to see it in the first place. Here's an example of a Facebook page. And here, I guess he just wants me to go through these things and show you how things look. Where's my little slide next thing? There we go. Now I can see what's going on next. LinkedIn is what we're also going to cover. Twitter. And for a throwaway, there's the Google profile. Although this is a slightly older version, they changed that now. He wanted me to give you guys some numbers here. So Facebook has about 750 million users as of when he made this presentation a few months ago, or at least the last numbers he could get. LinkedIn, 100 million. Twitter, 190 million. They're all growing, so he put pluses here. This information says all the same things. Facebook's great thing is that half of their active users are there every single day. Maybe a different half, but they're almost always there. Twitter, some people is actually a lot less. They get a much smaller percentage of their active users. LinkedIn is far more professional oriented, but he did want me to especially cover LinkedIn for law schools and concerns with alumni association stuff. The king in all social media is content, conversation, community. And that all starts off with that content. So we're going to go over blogging quick. So very quick, he says. I'm going to show you a couple examples of some blogs. This is our Justia blog with a post from back in February. And one thing when you do have a blog is you really should try and integrate it with the other social networks. So you can see on the side here, we've integrated it with Facebook, Twitter. We've got the like buttons and the share and tweet buttons on every post. There's another one down here you can see. It's very good to have use the blog to push out chunks of content and then use the social media to try and share it and push it out. Here's another blog. This one is a blog that's about social media of one of our clients at Justia. And I guess he wanted me to show it because of these stats over here, which I don't care about. If you have a blog, you definitely should submit it to search engines, get it out there. This is our blog search engine, which some of you heard me talking about, may or may not be actually operating at this exact second, but hopefully should be, because I've been patching its server for hours. ABA Journal also has a excellent legal blog directory that you can submit to. If you don't have a blog and you want to get started quickly, he wanted me to go over the easy ways to get one. So, of course, there's Blogger. And here's a Blogger blog that he created for his pugs. WordPress.com is an excellent place for a free blog, and he put more pugs there. And Typepad is also a great blog, although it blogging platform, but it costs a little more money. And he puts pugs there too. In case you don't know, Tim Stanley loves pugs. I have cats myself. All right, so overview real quick over Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. Here is Facebook. Here's LinkedIn. Here's Twitter. All right, great. Let's move on. He put that in there, and then he immediately goes into Facebook. So that's why I didn't bother putting much of. If you don't have a Facebook account, fill in form at facebook.com. It's really quite simple. There's 5 fields, 6 fields, 7. I'm sorry. Very simple. This is Tim Stanley's personal page, or Facebook account. He loves putting up the photos. Facebook's now become the #1 place to. Sorry. You have a wall tab and an info tab where you can put in information about you. There's a big thing with, linking up all your school stuff in here is important. So you guys want to make sure you have pages set up. We'll go over that in a minute. Facebook is a great place for photos. This is Tim's family as he's young. Facebook's become kind of the #1 place for photos now, mostly because you push that photo and it's immediately pushed to everybody who's around you. This is Tim's class, I guess, as a little kid. And probably what really drives Facebook as being the place for photos is comments. All right. What's more important for schools to set up and others is to set up a page for a Facebook page, which is for the organization rather than for a person. A Facebook page acts just like a Facebook profile. It has a wall. It has an info tab. You can add other tabs to it, which I'll go over into a little bit. And also, then there's a difference between, this one is a organization tab or a thing tab. This is for Justia as a whole. We put up one, mostly for legal information. But they also have more localized ones that are designed for things like checking in and stuff like that. This is our U.S. office's separate Facebook page. I don't know if you can see the URL way up there, but this one is Justia. This one's Justia, California. So here's the LII's Facebook page as of I don't know when. These articles look a little old to me. But if you really want to get a lot of likes, apparently you need to put up pictures of puppies. The one thing Tim really wanted me to say about Facebook pages is if you haven't set up a username for your Facebook page, do it as early as possible. You have to have 25 people liking your page before you can do that. So if you still have a crazy long URL in your Facebook page, but you have more than 25 likes, make sure you go in and get a username at facebook.com/username so you get a nice short URL that you can share a lot easier. If you don't have 25 friends, there's more than 25 people in the room, just tell them, hey, come like my page real quick so that I can get a username. Another thing you can do, and this is the next thing, is if you have a blog, integrate your blog with your Facebook page. Bring those posts in automatically. There's a couple of good Facebook apps for this. This one's called Networked Blogs. It's great because not only does it bring it into your wall, but it also will create a, and I'll show you this in a second because he apparently put it out of order. You can also create a tab on your Facebook page that is just for your wall, so people can click down to it, just see the stuff that, or just for your blog, so you can drill down to that. Another good app for bringing it in is RSS Graffiti. Now, lately, this flip-flops about every 2 months. Sometimes Network Blogs works the best. Sometimes RSS Graffiti works the best. At this moment, as of yesterday, the one that is not causing errors right now is RSS Graffiti. But like I said before, you don't get that tab. Haven't we seen this slide already? There we go. Yeah, this is just showing that you can go, there's that blog tab for Network Blogs. It basically puts a tab called blog on your sidebar, which when you go to it, it just filters everything down to just the stuff that's on your blog. Another thing you can do is you have 2 ways, really. I mean, there are other apps, but there are 2 main ways to integrate your Facebook page with your Twitter account. And you just choose which way you want the information to flow. If you want your information to flow from Twitter to Facebook, you can go to apps.facebook.com/Twitter, which is an app created by Twitter to do that. Bring your post from Twitter to Facebook. So as you post to Twitter, the posts automatically get added to your Facebook wall. But if you want to go the other way around, you can post to Facebook. And this is just an example of a place that has done that, which is not. If you want to go the other way around, if you want to post to Facebook and have it push those posts to Twitter, you go to www.facebook.com/Twitter. And this is an app created by Facebook to send your post to Twitter. So if you want it, depending on which way you want to go, they've got a nice little arrow so you can see it. So basically, if you want to go from Twitter to Facebook, replace that www with apps. If you want to go from Facebook to Twitter, it's www. And I swear I went over these slides with him last night, and I knew what I was supposed to say on there. All right, moving on. All right, LinkedIn. LinkedIn, as I said before, is mostly oriented towards professionals, but it's very important for a law school to try and get control over any Facebook groups that were created for their alumni association. A lot of times, people will graduate from a university, go around, and then they will create their own little alumni page for people who went to that college, and the college doesn't have control over that group. So if somebody else controls the group for your college, find who it is, get them to give control to you, and use that group to your advantage. Signing up for LinkedIn is pretty simple, although there's quite a lot of profile fields after you get past this first page. But again, it's a relatively short field to get started with. This is Tim's personal LinkedIn profile here. And just like with Facebook we were talking about, you can integrate your blog and Twitter. You can do that on Facebook as well. You can see, or on LinkedIn as well. You can see he's got his tweets over here. Twitter. Coming into his Facebook or LinkedIn. Why do I keep saying Facebook? LinkedIn profile. And here is a feature where you can bring in your blog as well, so you can see the blog is coming in here on the top and being added to his page. So when he writes a new blog post, it's there. The idea is to have to update as few things as possible whenever you do something new. So the more you integrate these things together, the less you have to actually cross-post things. This is an example of a company page. I don't know why I personally am not on the top list here of the employees. It's not fair. But you're not here either, John. I'm sure there's 54 people here. I'm sure we're there somewhere. I know I've connected to it. But the company profile is a good place to set up. You should set it up for everybody who works in your little group, so you should definitely set it up for your organization. And like your personal profile, you can also bring your tweets and blog posts into that. LinkedIn groups are probably where much of the power for schools are going to be. You really want to try and, as we said before, try to get control over the group of your alumni so that you can actually track and see what they're doing after they leave your school. LinkedIn is a much easier place to do that than just about anywhere else, because people will very quickly put that they went to your school, unless they did badly, I suppose. And you'll be able to see them and very easily know what it is that they did with their lives afterwards, which is important to alumni associations. This is just another example of a LinkedIn group. All right. From a business, this is, what's the purpose of this part here? Oh, yes. So to get as much information as possible, even if people don't actually connect with you, getting a business level account is actually a very good idea. Tim says that he doesn't, despite what LinkedIn recommends here, he doesn't actually recommend you go for the Plus program because there's not much there that is of any real benefit. Just get the lowest level one, which he has here, so he always says his current account. This allows you to contact people without them connecting to you first, or you even having a connection to them. It allows you to actually see pieces of information that are normally kept that are normally hidden from profiles. So getting the business account is a good idea. This is just showing you the different parts of the business account here. The one thing that he says a lot of people really like is this thing called InMail. This basically is designed to help you connect with people who are outside your network. So you have this, you get a certain number a month depending on what your account level, and you can actually contact people. This is great if you're headhunting and you're trying to hire some people out there. This will let you contact them even if you don't know who they are. You also get a nice little badge, which when searches come up helps a lot. And another great thing about the business level account is you actually get to see who's viewed you. So you can, this is also the personal professional level account. You actually get to know who's taking a look at your profile and connect with them if you need to. Here's another profile. This is Stacy, Tim's wife and president of the company. Here's showing search results, and you can see that the people who have that little in badge are up on top, and it's a very small group of people. This is called the reference search, which Tim said is really useful. You pull up somebody, you can pull up their reference search, and it will show you who in your network has been connected with those people. So it's great for if you're hiring, you can use this to find people to talk to. On the other hand, hopefully nobody here is actually looking for a job, but if you're looking for a job, as I might be after Tim sees how badly I botched his presentation, then Tim also recommends the personal level upgraded plan. Again, he doesn't recommend the middle or high level plan. He recommends a small level plan, mostly because he doesn't actually thinks that the badge, if you're looking for a job, can hurt you more than help you. So, because then it tells your boss that you're looking for a job. This is just other parts of the. If you're looking for people, you can post jobs into the system that people can search for and find you. It's a great way to find candidates. Okay, over to Twitter. I'm 19 minutes in. I'm finished this presentation in about 5 minutes. All right, Twitter is the Twitter homepage. This is Tim's, even though it's at Justia, this is Tim's personal account. Justia's main one is Justia.com. All right. Most people don't use the website. They use a program to talk to Twitter. I'm sure many of you who use Twitter have used TweetDeck and love it, as we all do. And if you're wanting a group of people to tweet on the same account, Hootsuite works really well too, because it lets you group people together and know, if you're wanting everybody to tweet out from one central account, but you personally want to know who they were who actually sent out these tweets, in case they tweet something they shouldn't, Hootsuite's pretty good at that, because it keeps basically its own archive of who made the tweets and its own statistics. If you have a Twitter account, legal Twitter account for your school or whatever, submit it to Twitter search engines like our own, LegalBirds, which I know a few things about, having actually created the product. And the LexBlog network has one called LexTweet as well. That's a good place to submit your legal Twitter account. I'll show you a couple things on LegalBirds because I'm a little proud of it. It was a good project. We have a directory of Twitter accounts by practice area. We will bring those tweets in. This is Tim's profile. You can see his most recent tweet is up on his lawyer directory profile. We created this network where you can see where everybody who's legally oriented, who's also in our directory, is in relation to you. We map them all out. You can also load that into Google Earth. If you want to get your blog post onto Twitter, one of the best ways to do that is either using a plugin for your blog platform, as many blog platforms have plugins to directly tweet, or just simply use Twitter feed. You can put your RSS feed in there and your Twitter account, and it will regularly pull your RSS feed and post your blog post to Twitter for you. We talked about this before. This is two ways to connect it with Facebook. apps.facebook.com/Twitter will let you send your tweets to Facebook. www.facebook.com/Twitter will let you send your Facebook post to Twitter. So don't do both, because then you'll end up with circular logic, but pick one or the other and you only have to post to one. As I showed you before, you can bring in your tweets to LinkedIn, either to your personal or your company page, which puts it in different places. You can also bring them into Google Buzz, but if you do that, nobody will ever see them there. Or maybe 3 people will. It's probably not worth your time. Okay, in summary, content, conversation, community is the most important things. So focus on getting your content out there is really important. And if you blog, that content will stay around and people will be able to find it later. If you tweet or post it to Facebook, they'll find it now and then they'll never see it again. So blogging's great. If you want to talk to people really fast, Twitter and Facebook's really good. And those are great for conversation and community. Numbers up right here again. And that's the end. So I know this was really basic, and you probably all knew how to set up accounts on all these various profiles before. So if you have any real questions about how you should integrate your organization with any of these social networks, ask, and I'll give you better answers.
Quick question, basic question maybe. When you integrate posts from, say, Facebook into LinkedIn, does it allow you to pick and choose the posts that you want to put in, or is it just a sort of setting and it's all or nothing at all?
It depends on what you do. It depends a lot on what your starting point are. If you're using your blog, for example, if your blog as your starting point and then posting it into the various platforms, you can, one thing I like to do is set up category feeds on my blog and then use that sectioned off version as what I post. Typically speaking, the whole idea behind automatically linking these accounts is so that you don't have to think about it, so they don't really give you a lot of selective options. One thing you can do, if you're going to want to post most of your tweets to Facebook, but not all of them, for example, you could always connect it where it comes from Twitter to Facebook, And then once you're in Facebook, very quickly go delete the posts that you don't want, because on Facebook you can delete them, not so much the other way around. If you delete them on Twitter, odds are some aggregator has already picked it up, because they pick them up very fast. Now, it used to be that it would even still show up in the Twitter search engine for like 30 days. Fortunately, they recently fixed that, so if you do delete a tweet, it won't show up in the Twitter search engine, but odds are when you post it to Twitter, everyone's already seen it. So what I typically say for things like that is find the network that you want to post the least or most selective to, and have that be the one that you post. That you have auto-posting to the others. For example, if you want to post only half of your things to Facebook and the rest to Twitter, well, then have your posts go from Facebook to Twitter, write those posts on Facebook, and then write the rest of your posts directly on Twitter. I don't know if that really answered your question, but anything else, anyone? You have to hold it if you want it to pick you up.
Doesn't hold on to it, okay. Yeah, so if the answers are pertinent to my question, I save them for future reference. But with the Facebook or Twitter or anything like that, will I be able to do that?
Well, on Twitter, yes. There is a feature on Twitter that not a lot of people actually use called favorite tweets. And most clients do support this, but it's not really that used. But you can use it. There's a little star icon that shows up in Twitter where if you hit the star icon, it will save it to a list that you can go to that is a list of all your favorite tweets. But like all lists on Twitter, this is chronologically sorted in descending order from most recent to earliest. So if you favorite a lot of posts, finding that one post that you favorited, a year ago might be kind of hard to do. For the most part, and this goes back to what Tim wanted me to say about blogging versus using Twitter and Facebook, is the stuff on Twitter and Facebook is very much temporally oriented. It's about what's right now. So posts to it degrade very quickly over time. So getting that answer is something that, for the most part, it doesn't really have a good method of finding them again. The favorites are nice, but only if you use it in moderation. If you favorite every other tweet, then you'll never find a post again. That said, the posts are there. You could backlog through them, find them all. LinkedIn's a little bit different. The LinkedIn groups are kind of like discussion boards, so they're very much like listservs. So things you post to a group on LinkedIn and somebody answers your question on LinkedIn, those are much easier to find. As such, they tend to do better with those type of conversations, less the right now conversations, more the long-term conversations. And so LinkedIn groups are they're basically a listserv on the web, so to speak. So I hope that answers your question. Anybody else? Going once, going twice. All right, I guess we get a longer break than usual because it's only halftime in and I'm done. What? Yeah.